Desert Road is the highest and harshest section of State Highway 1. Desert travellers cross a gap between the Tongariro volcanoes in the west and the Kaimanawa forest in the east. No one lives here. It's either national park or army training country. Summer and winter, it's a dangerous drive. At either end of the road, two towns guard the desert frontiers. Turangi lies between Lake Taupo and the desert's northern border. South across the wilderness is Waiouru, the army training camp. Members of the Officer Cadet School. Now these are young people, none of them over 23, and I believe all of them with a minimum of university entrance and qualifications, who are trained not only in the strategy of modern warfare, but also in such things as courage and integrity. How one does that, we can't be sure.
Lock up everybody, cover off, feet together.
In 4 months' time, those who survive the training will graduate as the Army's middle management.
They are the young, they are the physically fit, and one assumes they are the courageous. We're trying to use your intellect so that you survive, and so do your people survive, at the same time achieve the mission. But they are the people that a tremendous weight falls on when it really does come to the crunch.
One thing I just want to reiterate here is the chain of command. You don't have your drillies to go through now, junior class. You go through your section commanders go to their platoon sergeants, and the platoon sergeants come to headquarters. That is with everything.
There is a number of BFAs that were removed from weapons on that day when we were cleaning them. Please bring them all to me so we have them centralised. And for the section commanders of Tobago Platoon, can I please have all the barrack damages in from your juniors by Thursday night? Thank you very much.
Senior class, we have 99 days to go. Junior class, we have 286 days to go.
I like the type of institutionalised system. I like it. I like school, and it comes in a conformed little packet, so does the Army.
You know what's going to happen in your day in the morning when you get up. Or you know a week before. Here, this place, you know a month before what's going to happen, because it's so well organised. Once you get out of here, you're the one who actually does the planning. You're the one who creates the training program for your troopies. So...
Is that something you're looking forward to?
Oh, yeah. Getting out of here.
You'd also get to boss other people around, presumably. Is that part of the deal as well? Or?
You don't boss them around, you lead them.
I suppose history shows that, yes, their attrition rate is quite high, especially in the infantry, where they are the young leaders who have to get out there and lead, and yes, they do die. But then so do a lot of soldiers at the same time if things don't go right. But that, I don't think they think of that, because once again they're young, and when you're young, like you get in a car and do 150 k's, you don't think you can turn around the next corner and be dead. That's not part of being young. You know, you're invincible when you're young, and I think that's part of them as well.
I'm actually doing a garden inspection. We carry them out every fortnight, just to make sure that the camp looks attractive. We go around and check, make sure people have mowed the lawns, done their gardens, and the spouting and everything's taken care of.
And how do the locals feel about that?
A lot of them are not happy. Not happy. Our job, or my job, would be one of the... I must be one of the most hated people in camp, actually.
Doesn't seem to be bothering you too much.
No, because it's a job. It's got to be done, and I think the camp looks very attractive. In my particular situation, because I'm the accommodation officer and my husband is the tenant, I've quite often sent my husband letters. If he hasn't mowed the lawns, he doesn't get off scot-free either. You've got to be firm but fair in this game. The window boxes are quite large here.
So you'd have to physically get up there and he'll be expected to dig that out, will he?
Because if he doesn't, of course, with the snow and everything with winter coming, his guttering's not going to work. It's just, water's just going to overflow everywhere. Right. So that's one of the reasons we like them to do it, because we're maintaining an asset.
Right.
Yeah, our
Very good.
houses.
Well, on behalf of the taxpayers of New Zealand, I'm very grateful you're
Good.
doing this, of course. Now, you've got a checklist there, have you?
Yeah,
So
what we
you-
do, no, because it's just a sheet that I take back to work. I write down what the problems are. Obviously,
G stands
gardens.
for garden.
L for lawns. Lawns aren't too bad today. Hedges, no hedge. Don't worry about those. Compost.
C for compost. I'm very impressed by the system. C.
Well, this is obviously a major demerit system here.
Yeah. He'll get a letter. What'll happen is he'll get a letter telling him generally to tidy up the whole section. You can use your hands. It's heaps easier.
Waiouru, I think, is unique as far as other army camps go because you haven't got the outside cities and that close by.
We need to move around this side.
Very unusual to see anyone over sort of 45, 50.
How many children have you got yourself?
4.
Is this largish families the norm around these parts?
No, I don't think so. I don't think
Just
we're
lucky,
normal at all. I think that you have to rely a lot on the support of your friends because there aren't extended family here. A lot of husbands are away a lot, but you always know that you're never the only one in that situation.
Right. Has your own husband been away much the time he's been in the army?
Yes.
What's the longest period to date?
To date, it's only been like 5 or 6 weeks at a time, but on Sunday he's off to Bosnia for 6 months. I knew when I got married that my husband was in the army, but I really never expected him to be away from us for that length of time.
And you don't look all that pleased about it.
It's a little bit daunting, but I think we'll be all right. I think we'll get through it with the support of the community.
Actually trying out the long barrel, the 118, and just trying the ammunition for it. It's the first time that we've used it. 163 have used it, so trying it out today for about 2 days.
So when you say long barrel, and presumably this means it fires further, does it?
Yeah.
What distances are we talking here?
Oh, talking about 17 kilometres.
What? You won't even see where those shells land, will you?
Oh, but the people ahead of us will.
3, this is the 3-9, your call sign has air and ground, clear, a grid.
Well, Sergeant Major Chews is accompanying me across to a forward gun site. We're heading towards the front line. I have these, which I'm going to need. Doesn't seem to be bothering you, Sergeant Major.
I'll have a pair set down there for me.
I think you'd want them, because this is actually quite deafening, isn't it? And we're getting rather close to the action over here. You see what I mean? Exactly. That's the sort of thing I'm talking about. So don't bother talking to me anymore. I won't hear a thing. I'm deaf already.
Bearing 728. Bearing 728.
Elevation 578.
Elevation 578. Oh, breach, no.
That's a breach.
Yes.
In terms of putting it in context for you as junior leaders, imagine that you are a 22-year-old lieutenant serving as a platoon commander. Your platoon is now deployed near a town in Greece. You are apprehensive but confident in your training in men and want to show the Germans what you are made of.
What are these flags?
We don't call them flags in the army, they're called colours. There's 2 here within OCS. This one's the Queen's colour, which is the one that I carry, and the Corps Sergeant, he carries the regimental colour. I'm responsible for the colours, which only come out of the cabinet for ceremonial occasions, only for special parades, such as our graduation. They represent tradition, unity. Basically, they're the soul of the Corps.
Last winter, I think we had about 4 power cuts, which leaves you without power, but we do all our cooking on the log air fire. And of course, you've got the chippy to keep your hot water going, so during winter, at least without power, you've still got your hot water supply.
And you have another thing on your mind as well, no doubt, the fact that you're going to Bosnia, of all places, over the winter.
Yep, we're off. So, well, I get 3 summers in a row. Unfortunately, Sue gets stuck here with a winter. So I've got all the wood in, so I hope she should be right for the winter.
It won't be easy, but I think because I'm working too, time hopefully will go a lot quicker than as if I was at home home just with the kids all day, but we'll certainly miss it.
She's been expecting it anyway for the last 6 months, since the first contingent went, so she's had 6 months to prepare herself.
Heaven forbid that something terrible should happen over there, that you be injured or even worse. Is this something that you have to face in a practical way as well?
Oh, yeah, definitely. You know, when you talk to different people and you've got to make sure that your insurance covers and all those kinds of things are up to date, and people sort of look at you sideways and think, you know, hey, all you're worried about is money. But reality is, if anything happens while they're over there, I mean, I've got 2 kids to bring up. One of the things that we keep saying to each other is that we never listen to the news, we never watch the news, and we take what a lot of people say as a grain of salt because it's all so negative. There's nothing positive. And we've got our lives, and we've got our children, and we can't portray negative vibes to our kids. So we've got to be positive all the time for our kids' sake. Okay. It's a long day for me because my day starts at 6 just so that I can get the kids organised, myself organised for work. No, we seem to be coping all right.
How far through the period are we with your husband's wife?
2 months.
To go?
4 to go.
Are you getting the support you'd hoped for from the army? And
No, I'm not actually. In our welfare briefs, we were told about telephone calls, visits around to see that everybody's fine, any assistance, whether it be mowing lawns, chopping firewood, those kinds of things would be offered. I'm a very do-it-myself kind of person, but I haven't had the phone calls, I haven't had the visits.
have you had any?
No.
Now, the latest news, in fact, the news today, is that the government has okayed some kind of ready reaction force from amongst those troops. How does this make you feel?
I don't really think it's sunk in because I haven't actually been watching the news or anything. I mean, I'm concerned. Mark, when he left here in March, left as a peacekeeper. I mean, I always knew that he could possibly be shot at, but not put in the situation that the government has now decided to put them in.
Yep, ready, lean back.
Quite a full-on task ahead of all of us that are graduating. There's a lot of standards that we're expected to uphold. I'm not sure quite what I'm going to be doing when I get to Linton, but definitely a lot of the NCOs will be 10, 12, 15 years in the Army, the ones that I'm directly working with. It's very daunting. We've just got to put into practice what we've been taught, use a lot of initiative, which is a quality that they always say officers are meant to have anyway, and ask questions. I'll be doing a lot of question asking in the next 6 weeks, that's for sure.
Jacob, how's it going, buddy? I hear you've been playing rugby, playing quite a few games, and you got to have a couple of rides on a motorbike. You're a bit lucky, aren't you? I hear that you're a good boy for money, helping me out heaps. Thanks for that, mate. I really depend on you to help me and to be a good boy for me. Well, I'm really missing you over here. It's a long way from home, and I think about you all the time, as I do all your kids. Remember, write me a letter and send me some pictures. See you, buddy. Love you.
Has it been more gruelling than you expected?
Yep. It has been. We get tears from my son every time Dad rings to talk to him, so we've had to stop that. I've said, look, just don't ring, because I just don't need it. Right. You know, don't ring to talk to him, to talk to the kids. Ring at a time when you know that they're going to be in bed. So, yeah. We're working through that one. It's not much fun at all. Alex, Jacob!
I didn't say I wanted cheese.
Feeding the lions. It's a terrible thing to have food critics in the house, isn't it? Hey? Des, do you get together with the other wives very much?
Yeah, I do. I see quite a lot of them, and hopefully we're having a night out on Saturday night.
Right, I heard there was one famous night out. Did you go to the last one?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it's just really good to get out. Remind yourself there's more to life than you and your kids and your four walls, especially at this time of the year.
There's going to be a lot to talk about when he gets back.
There is. The letters and phone calls just don't seem to be enough.
We're just matching up which muzzle and which breech ring goes with which gun.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, because like they've been mixed around on each gun. Well, like we have a race to so you can clean their gun past us and all this stuff with big pies, and that's why we got all these pies in there. Good pies.
I didn't realise it was so competitive around here. What's...
You know, why are you on?
No, well, thanks very much. I feel I'd be living off your labours, but why not? It is a cold day, and it'd be silly not to turn it down. Thank you. Oh, not bad pies. I don't think I might join your team if you win these consistently. What's it like being a soldier these days? I mean, is it hard graft or what?
Sorry?
Hard work with very little pay.
Is that right?
No effort.
Is that true? People get the idea in the modern army these days that you're quite well paid and looked after.
We get paid fortnightly, we only get about $200-300 a fortnight, so in their hand.
Mind you, our good soldiers don't moan, so we just live with it.
Yeah. Does it change when you become an officer?
Oh, well, we'll not talk about those policies.
Officers are different classes. They're sort of up there, we're sort of down there, and we don't mix with them, they don't mix with us. They just tell us what to do and we do it.
Yeah, you're all right.
Yeah, I got good results. I got that treated you like you were. That's good. You sit down and have a talk to the NCOs and that. Between the two of you, you're running your troop, and they are the guys who really are doing the work on the ground.
He went home for a short time and has gone straight to Bougainville.
We've all got different corps that we're going to. The overseas cadets, of course, will go home, back to their respective armies. And I'm going to the Ordnance Corps, and I'll be posted to Linton in Palmerston North.
I'm posted to 16th Field Regiment, so that's artillery.
Hopefully you'll have a platoon who will be doing their basic training, either RF or TF. And then I'll be here for 6 months, and then I'll go and go to my corps down in Trentham and join a unit.
Kalapari. Halt.
If you consider the desert road between Turangi and Waiouru as a separate world, then the army with its sense of ritual and tradition would have to be a world within that world. In this day and age, the army sense of discipline and common purpose is almost as unique as the landscape itself.